It's 11:11. You have been on your high horse for much, much too long. It's time to take those feet from out of the clouds and bring them back down to earth, which is definitely where they belong. I wish it was as easy as telling you to be better, but we both know better is not in your wheelhouse. I can try to summarize what you actually are and where your expectations should be. That is, a lot lower than they have been. You are probably not going to do anything extraordinary. Most people don't. The world runs mostly on routine. People waking up, doing work that doesn't matter much, and then going home to scroll through a phone until they're tired enough to flop into a bed covered in sweaty sheets, only to start the whole process over again a few hours later. You will probably be one of them. Not because you're incapable, but because life's gravity pulls hard toward the ordinary. Ambition fades under bills, fatigue, and the dull ache of repetition. You might have flashes of energy, bursts of optimism, a surge of creativity, some plan that feels like it will finally change things. You'll make a list, maybe even start a new project. It will go well for a week or two and then taper off, like everything else. The energy will run out and you'll drift back into maintenance. The world isn't built for breakthroughs. It's built for consumption. Even if you do something good, it won't feel as good as you imagine. You'll finish it, share it, and then feel the anticlimax, that quiet, deflating moment when the world keeps moving and nobody cares as much as you had hoped. Someone else will do something similar and get more attention for it. You'll compare yourself even though you know you shouldn't, and it'll make you wonder if effort is just another trick to keep people busy. You'll age faster than you think. There's no warning for that. You'll look up one day and realize you've been talking about someday for over a decade. You'll start to notice that people younger than you have already done what you once said you would. It will make you quieter. You'll tell yourself you're being more realistic, but it's just a polite word for giving up gracefully. Most of your relationships will drift too, not out of malice, just entropy. Everyone's busy surviving. You'll think of old friends, meaning to reach out, but the moment will pass. You'll remember them again a year later, and it'll feel too late. It's not. It just feels that way because you've already accepted the distance. The things that used to excite you will flatten out. Movies, music, stories. They'll all start to feel repetitive. You'll look for something new to stir you, but novelty has diminishing returns. You'll learn more, but feel less. Wisdom sounds nice, but in practice, it's just seeing through illusions faster than you can replace them. You'll keep going, though. Everyone does. You'll find small pleasures, a warm meal, a quiet evening, A moment of peace that's not dramatic, but tolerable. That's what most lives come down to. Tolerable moments strung together. It feels tragic, but it's not. It's just how things are. You will convince yourself that you're fine with that. You keep saying you'll change, but you never do. You collect intentions like souvenirs, small promises you keep on a mental shelf to make yourself feel in motion. You talk about potential as if it's a real thing, as if wanting to be better counts for anything. You mistake reflection for progress. You've been rehearsing improvement for years, yet nothing happens. You like to tell yourself you're waiting for the right moment, but moments don't line up for you. They come and go, and you watch them pass with a kind of resigned intelligence. You're smart enough to notice opportunity, but not disciplined enough to take it. You read about people who do things, you analyze them, you understand the structure of success perfectly. You just don't participate. You've made thinking into a substitute for doing. You quit quietly, rationalizing every failure until it sounds cheaply philosophical. It wasn't meant to be. I learned something from it. These are excuses wrapped in insight. You say them to sound wise, but they're only there to hide the fact that you didn't try hard enough. You've built a personality out of almosts. You think being self-aware makes you deep, but it only makes you predictable. You complain about time as though it owes you anything. You say you're busy, but you waste hours in distraction, scrolling, looping, numbing yourself. You confuse exhaustion with productivity. You've trained yourself to feel tired for no reason. And then you'll call that fatigue burnout, like it's a noble affliction instead of just inertia. You don't even commit to your distractions properly. You want meaning, but you also want comfort. You can't have both, so you settle for a diluted middle. A life soft enough to avoid pain, dull enough to erase any sense of purpose. You keep saying you're figuring things out, but the truth is, you've been orbiting the same point for years. You've become good at talking about your effort instead of applying it. You love the vocabulary of growth, goals, visions, process, but you don't use any of it. You speak in hypotheticals because they cost nothing. You're addicted to imagining progress because it's far safer than failing at real progress, and you've convinced yourself that you're preparing. You're not. You're just stalling. You say you don't care what people think, but you do. Every choice you make is a small performance for an invisible audience. You crave validation and despise it at the same time. That's why you can't commit to anything fully. It's easier to half-try and later say it wasn't really you. That way, failure doesn't count. You already know everything here. That's the worst part. You've known it for years. and knowing it hasn't changed a thing. You'll hear this, nod, maybe even agree out loud, and then do nothing again. Because that's what you do. That's what you've always done. You move through life like a buffering video, always loading, never delivering. You have the presence of a half-drained battery and the charisma of unbuttered toast. People don't dislike you because they misunderstand you. They dislike you because they do understand you instantly. You are not mysterious. You're just tiring to be around and somehow underwhelming at the same time. You have the energy of a forgotten email draft, the kind someone meant to delete but didn't bother, sitting as unrealized potential forever in a directory in which nobody ever peeks. You talk like a motivational poster that's been hung in a closet. Your attempts at depth are like puddles after a light drizzle. Reflective, maybe, but not worth stepping in. If effort were light, you'd be a flickering bulb in an abandoned hallway. You manage to make mediocrity seem like a delicate, aesthetic choice. You're the human equivalent of background noise. There technically, but fading the moment something more interesting happens, like a refrigerator hum or a distant leaf blower. You are not even terrible in a memorable way. You're forgettable in high definition. If life were a group project, you'd be the one who sends the message, "Hey guys, what's the deadline again?" and then vanishes, of no help or consequence to anyone. You are not the worst person alive. You are just proof that existence doesn't always come with quality control.